Hey everybody and welcome to Chairman of the Board. Today I'm talking about a strictly two-player game called Patchwork by the very prolific designer Uwe Rosenberg. Now the idea of Patchwork is that you're trying to make your own patchwork quilt by placing these different kind of polyominoes together, trying to fill up as much space as possible, because every space you don't fill costs you -2 points at the end of the game. So the cool thing about Patchwork is almost two currencies in the game. So you've got the currency of buttons, which you're going to basically use to spend to buy new kind of bits of quilt to fill up your board. But you've also got time as well, because there's this time track where basically the certain shapes you put down also cost you amount of time, and that's going to make you move quicker around the board, ultimately coming towards the end of the game. So you've got to really kind of balance on how much you want to spend in terms of buttons and how much you want to spend in terms of time. And the cool thing about this game is the way the economy works, because basically as you are buying these kind of new bits of tile, these new bits of fabric to place down on your sheet, they have buttons on them. And every time you get past a certain point on the time track, you generate the amount of buttons you've got put down. And obviously the more you spend on these bits of fabric, the more expensive ones will get you kind of more buttons in return. So it really is a matter of investment. Basically the cheaper they are, they're not going to get you more in return, but you might have a quick fix, or you might need to fill in a certain type of shape on your board. So yeah, the decisions are really, really interesting, and you've got to be really careful about what you allow your opponent to have as well on your turn, because they're only allowed, well, basically all these different polyominoes are placed on this big kind of circle, and there's this pawn that goes around it, and you're only allowed access to the next three to the clockwise side of that pawn. So you've got to be really careful about what you allow your opponent to have, about what you want to have. And there's also this very interesting mechanism as well, where the person in front of the time track doesn't get their go until the person behind catches up or overtakes. So you can really kind of line yourself up to have like 2 or 3 goes in a row, depending on how much time you're spending, or also if you have the actual currency or the buttons to pay for the new kind of polyominoes. So it's a very, very streamlined game, but with very, very interesting and kind of almost really juicy decisions to make. And for me, that is what makes a good game. I mean, you want that really kind of simple rule set, but with loads of interesting decisions within that simple rule set. And Patchwork really does offer that. It's a very simple game, very accessible to everybody. I would almost call this like a perfect kind of couples game. It's not very aggressive or mean in any way, but it does have that real kind of feel of competition to it, which I really, really like. It's very therapeutic watching your, watching your little tableau build up. It's very, very satisfying when you get the right shape in the right space. Really, really a fantastic kind of system built here. Just so pure, and it really is a testament to Uwe Rosenberg's design, because this is just so well put together. The balance of the game is pretty much perfect. You've got no complaints whatsoever. The only thing that can kind of throw a bit of a spanner in the works is if the layout of tiles is put in a certain way where maybe all the expensive ones are together, where you basically have to keep passing until you get the funds to buy them. Because if you pass, you take a number of buttons equal to the amount of spaces you move to get in front of the other player. So yeah, sometimes you get a bit of conundrum, but that is a bit rare when that happens. The time investment takes about 20 to 30 minutes to play, which is the exact sweet spot for this. It's not too short, it's not too long by a long stretch. I mean, this just doesn't outstay its welcome whatsoever. It has that very kind of addictive feel to it when you come back to it time and time again, try and beat your score. It is really, really replayable. I mean, I've played this game like 30 plus times, and I'm not even remotely kind of bored of it yet. I still have the urge to play it. So yeah, a really kind of a well put together game. The way the game looks is really nice as well. I mean, the fact that the theme is used in such a simple way, where you're basically using these scrap bit of fabrics to put the sheets together, is a real kind of cool idea, because it's so simple but it works. And no complaints there whatsoever. The tiles are really nice quality, the boards are a nice quality. The buttons are nice. I think the whole game is just a very nice put together thing. Not only by its actual gameplay, but the way it looks, the way it feels, a nice little box, the time it takes, just the learning curve. It's a really brilliant two-player game, a truly excellent one. You might have heard a lot about it before because it is quite a popular game. People really do recommend it in terms of two players, and there is no reason why, you know, I can completely see why it's so popular. I've got not a bad thing to say about it. I can see why maybe like maybe more kind of laddie lads don't really want to play it because it's got a, you know, it's got a bit of a, you know, a bit of a soft feel to it. You know, not a lot of men want to build patchwork quilts. It has a kind of, you know, more of a feminine vibe to it, but who cares? It's a really good game. The only slight quibble with it is that the footprint of the game is quite big considering the kind of type of the game, because that big kind of circle of polyominoes it can be quite huge, to be honest. Takes up quite a bit of table space. So considering that the game is such a small little game, the footprint of it is quite big. So something just to be wary about. It doesn't bother me personally, but you know, if you want to make it more kind of a portable game to take on holiday or something like that, be a bit more aware of it. But yeah, an excellent game, perfect for couples, one of the best two-player games I've ever played. Really couldn't recommend this one highly enough. That's Patchwork by Uwe Rosenberg, an excellent game. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe to my channel, and please check out my other videos too. For everyone else, I'll see you next time on Chairman of the Board. Bye.